keep this in mind about the psychopath, about the narcissist, that they're constantly looking over their shoulder because they have spent their entire lives abusing people. And a lot of these people they have abused are seeking retribution. I know people who are psychopaths and narcissists who have dozens of lawsuits filed against them over a space of time, over years, because they have screwed over so many people, and these people trying to get them back or get their money back, whatever. So it's just an ongoing trait of a narcissist to hurt people, and consequently, it's an ongoing trait of people to try to hurt them. So they've got to keep tabs on people. To defend themselves. They have to have, if it were a military operation, would say they need to have intelligence of what's going on. And if it's not a military operation, they still need to have intelligence. Well, some narcissists actually are intelligent. A lot of them dumber than a box of rocks, but they still have these same traits. All right, so they're trying to keep tabs on you because they screwed you over, and they know from experience that chances are you're going to try to get them back. So they're looking over their shoulder not only at all these other people, but at you. How do they keep tabs on you? Well, what they do, obviously they can't keep track of everybody all the time because they're too busy screwing over other people. So what they use is flying monkeys. And I hesitate to use that term because to me, I don't like it. To me, it sounds corny. It sounds non-clinical. But it's used in pop psychology, so I use it because most everybody understands what it means. And what we're really talking about is we are talking about narcissist by proxy, or agents, or maybe psychopaths by proxy. That is to say, these are individuals who are doing the bidding, doing the work of a narcissist, and that work is to check up on you and others. That's their primary work. Now, they may do other things like slander, but their primary work is to check up on you. And a lot of times, they don't even know that they're being used. How do I know they don't know? Well, because I've been in that situation where the narcissist has tried to use me, not successfully, but they have tried to use me to spy on other people. Now, I have listened to narcissistic slander, and trusting the person who was the narcissist at the time, I thought there was some credibility to what he or she said. But once I got to know the narcissist, that inner self, then I realized nothing this person can say. Nothing this person says can convince me that they actually know what they're talking about. All right, so now we've established, we know, that the narcissist is using his agents, flying monkeys, to spy on you. Well, with that information, with that knowledge, we need to say, well, that's inevitable. We can't change that. How are we going to use that to our advantage? Turn the tables on the narcissist, on the psychopath, and I think we actually can do that. So we understand this is an agent, this is a narcissist by proxy, and what they will do is come and talk to us. Sometimes they are quite literally given an assignment by the narcissist. Go talk to Ken. I recall years ago, I used to go to one of these 24-hour gyms, where you go in and do a little workout. I was never good at it, but I like to go anyhow. And there was this guy, a mutual friend that I knew, the narcissist knew, and he popped in just out of nowhere. I mean, the middle of the night. Where'd this guy come from? And he wanted to talk about the narcissist. Well, it was kind of obvious that the narcissist put him up to this. So, I kind of talked to him a little bit, but the way that I used him against the narcissist, and this is how you use a narcissist, or a flying monkey rather, the agent to your advantage, is just don't give them a lot of information. If somebody brings up the narcissist in a conversation, don't say anything at all, nothing. And if you do say something, then I don't encourage people to lie, because people will spread what you say, and you'll earn a reputation of being a liar. So you don't want to give misinformation by just flat out lying about the narcissist. You don't want to say something about him or her that is not true. So usually the best thing to do is say nothing at all. And sometimes you could do something a little weird, talk about turn the tables. And you're not going to want to do this, but I'm going to make the suggestion anyhow, and that is say something, pay the narcissist a compliment, say something nice about him. There is a principle that when you say something nice about somebody that hates you, that you are heaping coals of fire on their head. That's the way the proverb goes. So in other words, they don't expect that, and it makes them look foolish, you know. So everybody knows the narcissist is trash talking you. You know, as you go through the smear campaign phase, that final phase of before you totally get rid of the narcissist, and you're responding by being nice. So suddenly you look like the good guy. So you might want to try that sometime. Now, again, you don't want to lie. And I don't know about the narcissist in your life, the psychopaths in your life, but I got to tell you, I'm really pressed to find something nice to say about these people. Nice hairstyle, you know. Well, that's not even true, so I can't say that. But if you stop and think about it, maybe you say, well, you know, we had some really nice conversations in the past. Or maybe you could say, I wonder if so-and-so knows how good he looked on video. You know that, and you're talking to the flying monkey. You say, you know that security camera that I have in my office, and the narcissist would come in, and he would forget that he's sitting in front of a video camera, and he would talk on a cell phone, and you know, he came across pretty good, came across pretty fairly sane and logical when he was talking to people on the telephone about me. Well, what you're doing is you are sending the narcissist a message. But yeah, you can do that. You can use the flying monkey, in this case the agent, against the narcissist by paying him a compliment and also informing him that you have a recording. Now, if you didn't have a recording, there's some other way you could use this strategy. But again, the best thing, I think, is just don't say anything. Just keep quiet, totally quiet. So now let's talk about some of the pathways of slander that the narcissist will use to spy on you. Not necessarily will the flying monkey come and talk to you personally one-on-one. Sometimes the flying monkey will, the agent, I like that term a lot better, the agent will monitor you on social media. Not necessarily the narcissist. Because if you have any sense, you have blocked the narcissist, the psychopath, on whatever social media platforms you happen to use. So this individual, at least the profile that you know of, he can't see what you're saying. Now, he may have a fake profile and he friended you on Facebook. That's why you got to be careful friending people that you don't know, or whatever social media that you happen to use. Got to be very careful with that. My social media are very limited. I have family members and a few people that I know that I can trust on my primary Facebook page, and where I talk about personal information with people, and I have two profiles. The other profile, you know, I just don't talk about personal things. So I don't have to worry about it. But what they will do, if they can't get to you with one of their profiles, but what they will do is use the flying monkey, the agent, to friend you on social media and just to watch what you have to say. And you're thinking, well, this is my good friend. I don't have to worry about him or her. So that's one path they use. Another pathway they use is they befriend your family members. You know, they'll see a family member out and about, maybe at Walmart, maybe at the grocery store, maybe at church, wherever they see them, and, well, how's Ken doing? You know, haven't seen him in a while. They act friendly and like they're really concerned. Again, it could be a family member that is talking to your, or a flying monkey rather, that is talking to your family member on social media. And they may not even ask about you, but what they're doing is they're watching what your family member says about you. Say, well, you know, they're not talking about you. Yeah, but they're watching. So those are a couple pathways that they use, but they love to get access to your close friends and your close family. And even if you warn, after you warn your friends and family, stay away from this person, cut them off, ignore them, don't talk to them. Guess what? Chances are they're going to do it anyhow. I know that because I did. I thought the victim of the narcissist, of the psychopath, was just blowing this thing way out of proportion. So, now I'm going to be nice to this person. I'm going to go ahead and continue that pathway of communication, not realizing that I was being used. And I think I was being used. So we need to keep in mind, this is something else that comes to mind, is we need to keep in mind that the flying monkey wants to please the narcissist. And again, how do I know that? Because, when I was an agent of the narcissist, I saw the narcissist, the psychopath, as my good friend, my dear friend. And, you have friends, you like to help them out. Got the back, right? So, you're kind of pleasing them. You don't know you're being deceived. And so you give them a little bit of information. I didn't like to talk a lot about other people to anybody for any reason, if it's negative or critical, but sometimes I would catch myself doing that. And you got to be very careful, because typically the narcissist, if an individual is the flying monkey, then the narcissist is perceived as being his or her friend, or somebody they can trust, or somebody who's nowhere near as bad as you say they are or think they are. So they want to please the narcissist. And what the narcissist wants, and the way they please them, is they feed them gossip. And it seems to be very passive gossip, maybe keeping tabs on your health or something like that. And sometimes there is, this is a little bit complicated, but sometimes there is actually what I would call a chain of flying monkeys. So the narcissist will have one flying monkey talk to another flying monkey who talks to you. So there's a chain of two flying monkeys. So you feel confident talking to this person because it's a trusted family member. And the family member knows better than to talk to the narcissist. And the narcissist knows that. So he recruits a second flying monkey, and the second flying monkey talks to the first flying monkey, and the first flying monkey talks to you. Now, the chain could have more than two people, probably not. Could have two or three. That's highly unlikely. But, once gossip gets out there, smear campaign gets out there, then you have an endless chain. And it goes on and on and on forever. So if you have to say something at all to the flying monkey, to the agent, to the narcissist by proxy, to the psychopath by proxy, always use my opinion. If you even know you're doing it, even though it's flying monkey, always use misdirection, but be careful not to lie. We said this earlier, because then you gain the reputation of being a liar, and even if you don't, lying, deception, just a bad practice. The best way not to get caught in a lie is don't lie, Sometimes that's hard to do because you just can't, you try to put things in perspective by shading the truth a little bit. That's still not a good idea. So the best way to misdirect a flying monkey is just don't talk to them or give them very limited information. So their message back to the narcissist is, he's not talking about you, or she's not talking about you, or they have, the individual has just totally lost interest in you, totally. Well, that's really not misdirection, come to think of it. That's just, or should be, just flat out honesty. There are two rectangles on the screen. Let's keep talking if you want. All you got to do to keep the conversation going is click on one of those two rectangles, and we'll keep hanging out together. But if not, thanks for stopping by, and see y'all next time.